Hi everyone, welcome to Jessie Goes Tsum. So today my goal is going to be to get a high score. So you could see here there's a weekly ranking. It resets every week on Sunday. And it doesn't entirely matter what order you're in. If you're not in the top three, basically, it doesn't matter what order you're in. But you might notice that there's these little markers, one for 10 million, one for 7.5 million, 5, 3, 2, and 1 million. And what that means is if you get a score above any of those numbers, you get an extra little bonus at the end of the week, right? So not just the regular in-game bonuses, but you get an extra, maybe 1,000 coins, 2,000 coins, 5,000 coins. I happen to know that for the 7.5 million, you get 14,000 coins. And if you break 10 million, you get 16,000 coins. And if you are in the top three, I think there's an extra bonus on top of that, but I have not cracked the top three yet. So I don't know what specifically that might be. So I'm going to try out my Rugby Mickey. He tends to give me great scores. You can see right here that his score level says 1168, which is pretty high. I mean, just by comparison. Who else do I have maxed out? I've got Jasmine maxed out, who you know that I love. And even her max score is 982, right? So not as high as Rugby Mickey. So I'm going to give him a shot. He has given me up to 12 million I've gotten. Not super consistently, but I have. So I'm also going to throw a couple of other things at this to help me get my highest score possible. I've got all these bonuses available to me. I'm obviously going to use a score ticket to boost my score by 10%. I'm going to add some extra time because why not? Obviously, every time I get a fever time during the game, I'm going to be adding extra time as well, but why not give myself that 5-second leg up? I'm going to do the booster for XP just because I have it and I'm at 98%, and why not try and push it over the edge in one game? I'm going to add extra bubbles because bubbles give me extra scores, extra opportunities to get points. I'm obviously going to do the 5-4. Mickey, Rugby Mickey is great because he's already basically just 4 Tsums on a screen since 2 of them count towards him anyway. And so I'm just going to make it even easier for me to get long chains and more points. I'm going to leave the combo for now. I think technically it would make my score higher, but I'd rather save that in case I really need it for a combo thing. But look at this. I'm going to throw everything I have at him and let's see what happens. There is some strategy that goes into this, and some of it is also just, quick fingers and making as long a chains as you possibly can, right? So I'm going to try and make my long chains. I'm going to try and pop the bubbles as they come up. He clears the center, so clearing during a fever time is ideal. You obviously can't always control it. Sometimes if I can get, if my fingers were quicker, I can get multiple clearing. You can see the fever bonus is just going to be adding up. Sometimes I've gotten up to 3 of them within one if I'm like super quick at refilling, but this is going to be the highest scoring time. It basically holds on to all the scores that you've earned during the fever time. It adds them all together at the end. So you see like right here, $250,000 point bonus. I'm just going to keep getting it to fever time as quickly as I can. I'm going to try and hit, activate the skill as quickly as I can. In other situations, there would be a reason to wait. I might normally wait until the screen refills, but I'm just going to keep going because I think there's just something to be said for activating him. Even if I'm not clearing as many as possible, it still takes me right back into fever time. So I'm just going to keep clearing these. For other games, if I was just trying to score coins, let's say, I might be paying more attention to making sure the screen is completely full when I activate, right? If he clears, let's say, 20 Tsums, I want to make sure he's clearing all 20 of them. But for this, I think it's probably just more important that I keep hitting that button. So, because that's, the other is for the coins, which, hey, is a nice bonus. There are some Tsums where you have to either get coins or you get a high score. Rugby Mickey, usually delivers on both of them. So this is awesome. When I can, sometimes I try and wait till like the regular time to reactivate. See how the clock is running out, and now it'll pop me right back into fever time, which is great. You don't always have the luxury to do that. It's not always a requirement to do that, you know. Again, and I'll be talking through this obviously in the future for different characters on this page. There's different strategy depending on what you're going for. In this case, I am just absolutely going for the highest possible score. Sometimes you can tell while you're playing a game. I actually feel pretty good in this game. My score is already 5 million, which is great. With my extra level bonus, I should be getting, at least an extra million on top of this. And there's a very good chance right now before it ends, hopefully I can get one more. Perfect. And now I add an extra 5 seconds because I'm activating this fever before the time ran out. I'm going to do another one. I can usually tell, not always, but I've been playing with him long enough. I've been playing with this long enough. So yes, I can usually tell by my score what my final score is going to be. And in this case, right, like my previous high score was 12 million. That's not for this week. That was just a general high score. And my current score with all the bonuses I'm going to be earning is going to be 8.8 million. So that is very high. And what that means to me is if I do add these extra 10 seconds, which I plan to, it means there's a really good chance I'm going to get to the 12 million mark, but at least I know I'm going to crack 10. How do I know this? Mostly just because I've played this enough times. I know that if I'm not above 8 million currently, there's not usually a point to adding the extra time. In my experience, even with the extra score bonus, even with, all the other things that I've kicked into this, I've got a bubble remaining on screen. I've already got a full tank with him, so I'm going to be able to immediately activate his skill. That's going to boost my score a little bit. But I know the threshold I have is usually like 7.9 million. If I'm not above there already, then continuing on with this game is probably not going to get me above 10 million unless I have like this magical, miraculous extra 10 seconds. And the good news is I could probably get at least one more fever time in here, so I might really have 15 seconds left to play. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to immediately activate my skill with him since I already have that in the tank right here. Depending who you talk to, one of my friends, Kit Kat, always swears by activating the skill with your left hand. She thinks it takes time to, to remember to switch your other finger and stuff, but I think that's going to take practice too. I don't naturally go for that, so it's just something I have to think about. Here I'm getting another extra little skill. Pop all these bubbles, try and activate. Didn't make it, but that's okay. So let's see, this score, 7.6 million, and that's before any of the other bonuses. Let's see if I crack 10. I did it. Y'all got to witness this with me. Not as high as the 12 million, that's okay. My goal for today was cracking 10 million, and I did it. So let's see. Oh, all right, well, sorry. Oh, and I completed a mission. These missions are great. You may have noticed them at the bottom of your screen. You get an extra 500 points basically for just playing what you were going to be playing anyway. So since I used that coin bonus, I got an extra boost of coins, it looks like, at the end of that. One of the ways that I factor in whether or not to use those bonuses, and I'll go into this more elsewhere as well, is if I know that the character is going to make me at least as many coins as I'm spending, right? So for me to use, I had to pay for the 5-4 and I had to pay for the coin booster. That comes to 2,300 coins. So if I make at least 2,300 coins in a game, I at least break even and I'm not losing money, right? So here in this case, I made more by using that XP booster. Look, I got 890 XP and I'm at 99% now. So I know I'm going to be pushing to level 174 in no time. And you'll also see that underneath where it says I've got the 10 million points, I've got that level bonus of 25%, right? And that is purely just from racking up my XP to level 173. So look, almost 2 million points just from that. And that's it. If you guys have any other questions about strategy for boosting your score or what other characters you can use for boosting your score, I am going to show other characters in the future, but I'd love to hear if there's someone you want to learn more about playing with. And otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.